Sorry, Afif. so,
No
so,
problem.
guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about grappling, specifically Grapplefest 13. So, Grapplefest 13 is going to be Saturday, the 1st of October. So, we're only just a week away now. So, next Saturday, going to be at the usual place, Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, anybody that's ever been at a Grapplefest event will tell you the same thing. The atmosphere is unbelievable at a Grapplefest event. As I say, we got it's always full of people. As I say, the spectators are right on top of the action. It's an amazing night, always amazing night at Grapplefest. So now, ticket availability. Anybody looking for tickets, head over to the Grapplefest Facebook page and you will get your tickets directly through there. And anybody looking to not make the event, you will be able to see it on pay-per-view. So it's going to be on Fight TV, as it always is. So again, we'll announce the details of the Fight TV prices and so on at the end of this conversation. Now, it's going to be, again, another amazing event. We've got grapplers. Some of the top grapplers from all over the world are going to be descending on Liverpool on Saturday night. So we've got representatives from America, from all over Europe, from further afield, and also Sweden is going to be represented on the evening as well. So my next guest, obviously, Swedish grappler Afif Khan, so of Stark Jiu Jitsu. So Afif came through the Contender Series, so obviously went over, had a few fights over there, and obviously won his place to be on the Grapplefest 13 card. So going to be up against Seamas McCrudden. So again, two different styles, two very, very different styles. Afif's a little bit shorter, and Seamus is very, very tall. So again, it's going to make for a very, very interesting match. So Afif, listen, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today.
Yeah, no problem, and it was a pleasure for me as well. Um,
So tell us
yes,
then, so obviously about yourself, obviously Swedish Jiu Jitsu. I got a lot of comments, a lot of messages about you before I spoke to you. So obviously people saying, watch out for this kid. This kid is absolutely awesome, absolutely brilliant. We got a glimpse of you at the Contender Series. So, but they're all saying that you're the real deal. You're coming over there to put on an absolute show.
yeah. So yeah, a little bit quick about myself. Like I've been training jiu-jitsu for like 3.5 years or something like that. But I really started to develop a game when I joined Stark, my current club, which is quite new as well. Like we've been up open for 2 years or so. So for the past 2 years, I've been working with my coach Anders together and like just developing a crazy no gi game, and on top of that, also the gi game. So I'm pretty much confident in both. But I always have the love for the no gi since that's what actually brought me into jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I think that. Uh, the main thing that makes my style quite fun is that I'm pretty aggressive. I go forward all the time. I do know the leg lock game pretty well for being a blue belt at least. But don't get mistaken, I got a pretty good top game as well at the moment, and back takes and also some nice guillotines that people should watch out for. But I'm pretty excited. Like this type of matchup is it's quite new for me. Like probably three heads taller than me. So it's gonna be fun to see what we can do. Either we take his neck or we spin underneath him and break his legs. That's the plan.
And that's the one thing about obviously Sweden especially. I mean, Sweden go back hundreds of years. I mean, it's a warrior nation. It's a fighting nation. So obviously going all the way back to like the Vikings and so on. So and that's no different now. I mean, obviously you'll be seeing not just jiu-jitsu or grappling, we see it in MMA. So you guys definitely come to fight. You definitely come to put on a show.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't think a lot of people know about it. Maybe MMA now with Kamsat and Gustafsson and all those guys coming up, but I think Swedish Jiu-Jitsu is quite quiet, to be honest. I'm not sure we've been marketing ourselves enough, to be honest. But we have pretty much, I would say, in Europe, in terms of gi at least, jiu-jitsu, we're probably top three, with probably Poland and Norway in the top. So we have a very, very high level over here. And the no-gi is kind of the same. Like we have some names. I think we had some alumni from Nacka, Liam Alpeng, competing at Grapplefest 12 or something like that. Really good guy as well. We have some other guys south of Sweden, but yeah, mainly we just haven't had the chance to basically show ourselves up. But with Grapplefest contenders, with Grapplefest 13, we have the opportunity to pretty much show our jiu-jitsu. Now my
Yeah,
coach
yeah.
is throwing bandages at me.
And tell us about obviously Swedish Jiu Jitsu. So obviously, again, the messages I was getting saying, look, Swedish Jiu Jitsu is on the rise at the moment. So there's going to be a lot of people coming through from Sweden that people might not know about. But you guys are ready to hit the scene big, and we're going to hear a lot more. Not just yourself, and do you know what I mean? But we're going to see a lot more Swedish grapplers coming through, coming on to shows like Grapplefest and do you know what I mean, all the bigger shows.
Yeah, 100%. I think like just having a platform to actually do it helps a lot. And if more people see that it's possible to actually fly over to the UK and fight, people will be more keen on actually doing it. Is sounds crazy, but it's actually as simple as fucking send a DM to Grapplefest or the Interclub, and maybe you get a shot at fighting.
Yeah,
That's what we did. Have some content, at least have some sort of videos or such, and then just fucking fight and train, and eventually you'll get it. Like, I mean, I'm not very big. I have like 400 followers or something like that, but I fight, I compete all the time, and I'm just thinking that once I have the opportunity, I'll get it, and now I have it. So it's just up
yeah,
to me now to show during next Saturday what I'm all about. I'm going to do
definitely.
it.
Tell us as well about the Contender Series. So obviously coming over for that. So how was that experience? Obviously going through the Contender Series, because that's the thing about the Contender Series is you actually fought for your place to be on Grapplefest. So
Yeah.
which is absolutely amazing. Obviously what Grapplefest do and put on that platform that you're able to do that. So, but tell us how that experience was for yourself.
Yeah, that was quite special, to be honest. Like, I saw the post pretty late. Some friends sent it to me, like Blue Belts Aware or something like that. So I just sent a DM. I think, I don't know if it was Chris or somebody else that runs that show that just said, yeah, I'll let you know if we have any dropouts. And he just messaged me back, and I was like, okay, fuck it, just book the flight and some place to live. But I was quite like surprised, because when we took the cab from like Liverpool Airport to Skelmersdale, it was like, where the fuck are we? But other than that, like, and then we went into this like the school or the club, and it was at this like what's it called, like abandoned warehouse kind of vibe. And then you went in, it was like a fight club pit where everybody was fighting and screaming. So it was quite surreal feeling, but I got kind of pumped up. Everybody was just standing around the mats and screaming. And yeah, I was very excited to fight.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a great experience as they go in there because, especially coming over from another country and coming in and maybe not knowing what to expect. And as soon as you walk in, and do you know what I mean? And as soon as you feel that atmosphere, as soon as you feel you see the mat and you walk in and it's just game time, it's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it, but it was still like it was still very nerve-wracking, because I'm competing every now and then, like every other week, basically. But this was during the summer, so I just come home from Croatia. I did the Continental Pro in the GI, the AGP competition.
Yeah,
Got my bronze there. But then, like, so that was the kind of the warm-up. But this meant kind of more, because this was like the first step of doing like professional grappling, so to speak. Fighting on a big card, and like having a super fight, basically. Usually it's just tournaments. So and also I was the only one flying in from like Sweden. I mean, maybe there were some other guys as well from Ireland or something like that. But I was the one from Sweden, so I was thinking like, fuck, if I fly here now and I lose, why the hell do I even come here? So the first match was kind of, I was really nervous, and it took a while to get to work. And he actually was very good at doing the shin straps. Like several times, it was very annoying. But once I got the like ball moving, it felt kind of good, and it's
Yeah,
basically almost like that. The second fights, I'm just on a roll. So the second fight were quite quickly. It went quite quickly, like in, I don't know, 3 minutes or 2 minutes. I finished him. So I think, yeah, if I can replicate that, the fight on Saturday will be good.
definitely. Tell us as well about you, because you mentioned nerves. So how do you deal with nerves? Because I know that people deal with nerves in different ways. So people have different superstitions where we hear MMA fighters will put on the left glove first, or then the right glove, or do you know what I mean? They'll do certain things. Is there anything that you do that to help you deal with any kind of nerves at all?
Not really. Like I was very bad at it before. Before I was thinking like maybe I should have some sort of ritual or whatever. But then I was thinking, okay, if I have a ritual, if something happens and I can't actually perform this ritual anymore, I would just lose the competition beforehand. So I'm just kind of not doing anything like that. Of course, it's kind of some sort of routine I have while warming up, maybe like pummeling arms and doing some burpees sometimes just to get the heart rate going.
Yeah,
But other than that, I just try to zone in, listen to some music, and I think some nerves are always good as well. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. But I think the past year or the last year, and this like last year was my first real season of competing. I learned a lot. Like the first competition was some shitty regional competition, and I was more nervous for that than doing the worlds. So I think I've come a long way in terms of nerves.
yeah,
But yeah, I wish I had a better answer, but I think I just like to uh, tell myself that I am supposed to be here and that I'm like that I'm good enough and that nobody has anything on me. So I just try to remind me as well. Like I train at one of the best gyms in Europe, so if I could even handle 1 minute with my head coach here, I should be able to
yeah,
handle 10 minutes with a fellow blue belt.
yeah. Do you know, I'm exactly the same. That's what I tell the guys in my gym. Whenever they go into a competition, they ask for advice. And I always tell them the same thing. I always say, look, the person that's standing in front of you in a competition, are they better than the people that you train with? Your coaches, or do you know what I mean? The higher belts and so on. And if the answer's no, then you're going to go out there and absolutely do brilliant. So I always tell them that, and I always do the same thing. I like how you said where you tell yourself, "I deserve to be here." Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
again, I used to do the same thing. I would always, before comps, and I remember I always tell people this, and they always think I'm crazy. But I used to look in the mirror in the morning, anytime when I got up in the morning, I would look in the mirror and I would tell myself that I was the king. There's nobody could
yeah,
touch me. I'm the best. Do you know what I mean? And I used to do that every day, maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks before a fight, before a grappling event or anything like that. And it got my mindset. So when I turned up at the event, do you know what I mean? In my head, I'm the best. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm walking into the gym like Conor McGregor. So just be like, listen, I am the best. And it helped because, like you, I'm quite small. I'm what, 5'4", 5'5". And everybody I fought was always 6 feet. And I think the tallest person I fought was about 6'8". Um, and I was going out and beating these guys. And people thought, but how is this small 5'4", 5'5" guy beating these 6'2", 3, 4"? How is he beating them? And it was just that mentality that I had where I drummed it into myself that I am the best.
yeah.
So I like how you do very, very similar thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's as you say, it sounds ridiculous, but sometimes you need to actually tell yourself that it's the same thing as like if you have negative thoughts, it's basically If you think you're gonna lose, you're probably gonna lose. But if you think you're gonna win, you're probably gonna win as well. Sometimes you
Yeah.
won't. Sometimes you think you'll lose and you win anyways. But I mean, why kind of corrupt your mind with bad thoughts? But I mean, it can happen. It's hard as well, and I think it's as much mental training as actually physical training when we step on these mats. And competition is really hard, man. Like it is, and I think yeah, I'm kind of fortunate enough to sometimes don't care a lot. Just in general about things, I could just be very nervous about stuff, but I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it and see how it goes. It's probably gonna be good anyways. And I think that's
Yeah.
helped a lot. Like, just fuck it. Like I was nervous before this interview as well. It's my first, but I was like, why prepare? Just do it, and it's probably gonna go well.
Definitely,
Uh,
definitely. No, I mean that's when see when you get that mentality though, you're like, do you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. Let's do the competition or whatever. That's when you start enjoying it more. Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? Because you know yourself coming through as a white belt and going to comps, and you see a lot of white belts in competitions where they're do you know what I mean? They look like they don't want to be there, right? But then as you get into like blue belt, purple belt, and so on, that's when you start enjoying it more because, as you said, you've got that mentality where you're going in and you're going to go, well, do you know what? Let's do this. Let's see what happens. I'm going to win. I'm obviously going to win. I'm not going to lose, but I'm just going to enjoy it. And as I say, that's when your jujitsu that's when your jujitsu goes on display, and I'd say you're just free to just enjoy yourself.
yeah, I agree. Like, and of course, it's hard sometimes. Sometimes you make stuff up too much in the mind as well. Like, yeah, depending on the competition. And like I said, my first one after COVID and everything, it was just a shitty outdoor competition that didn't mean anything, but I was
Yeah.
still like nervous as fuck. I lost the first one due to like an EBI overtime, and I was just thinking to myself, I suck at this shit. I should not do jiu-jitsu anymore. But then I turned it around and won the bronze, but it was still like after that I was like, okay, I think the best thing is just competing a lot, of course, but also training. Like if you train a lot and you feel that you've done everything in your power to actually in preparation, I think it's like then you can't really do much. Sometimes the other guy is better, and sometimes you are better. It's just the way it is. But if you've been slacking off and everything like that, then it's kind of your own fault. Then you can blame yourself, I would say. But I mean, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Tell me, who is your dream matchup? So everybody has a person. Like mine's was always Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah,
So if I was to ever get to a level, obviously black belt level, the one person I would love to be standing in front of in a competition would always be Rodolfo Vieira. So who would you, if you had to have anyone at all in the world, regardless of weights, who would you love to stand in front of?
I think regardless of weight, probably Gary Tonin or Renato Canuto would be pretty fucking awesome to scrap with them. It would just be a crazy fucking fight, I think. So they are a bit closer in weight, of course. But yeah, probably one of them, those two guys. Probably more Gary
Definitely.
Tonin since that's the guy I watched more. But Hanato
Yeah.
Kanuta because I remember I saw their fight and I was like, fuck, I want to do this as well.
Yeah. Two good picks, two really, really good picks. And then what's next for you then? So obviously Grapplefest next Saturday. What would you like to see yourself doing going forward? Obviously 2023 just around the corner. So what would you love to be doing going forward?
I mean, just keep fighting, I guess. I have some competitions lined up, like Grapplefest now this Saturday, then some the Nordic Open in end of October, and then I'm actually preparing for World Pro as well, AGP in the gi. And if I win that, I'll take that money and go to the US and do the no gi Worlds. If not, I'll just wait until next year. But I mean, I just want to fight as much as possible, and if I can get on Grapple Fest and if I can get on Grapple Kings and whatever, like if it's just during the weekend, I could probably just fly over Friday to Sunday, fight, go home. So pretty much just just training and competing. That's the plan. Working my way up slowly. Hopefully get my purple belt next year. We'll see. uh, but no, but I think yeah, basically competing. Like super fights is awesome. Probably gonna go compete a lot more abroad as well. Going to these different ADCC opens, preparing for trials by next year, doing that as well.
Yep.
So maybe going to Austin as well next summer to B team. So I have a lot of not like loose plans basically, but the one thing that I know is that I want to compete and fight basically.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say some good things here. Austin as well with the B team. I mean, a lot of people travel from all over the world. We got people coming from go from Scotland to travel over to the B team, and people from all over the world go there. So all the way, we're talking all the way from Australia throughout Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all travel over there, and every one of them have an awesome experience as well. So,
I think
so that'd be good. That'd be really good for you.
yeah, but I'll probably go to UK as well. I mean, UK is like producing quite a lot of good athletes as well. I mean, Wales, the whole like Drake team, and I think like Elite Jiu Jitsu in London and London Grapple, and they have some names coming out of there. So I
Yeah,
maybe not have to do like a 15-hour flight. I could just do a 1 hour flight instead.
yeah,
Train a bit in London. So we'll see. But mainly. We have such good training here as well, so I'm quite confident that I will reach a good level in Sweden as well,
yeah,
and try to represent the Swedish Jiu-Jitsu instead of kind of uh, going abroad. But of course, sometimes it's needed as well to get some new bodies and also to kind of know where your level's at. And I kind of got that confirmed doing the contenders, like how am I stacking up against these other blue belts in the UK region,
yeah.
and yeah. It went pretty well, so it
Yeah.
was quite a good confirmation.
And then final thing for you then. So as you mentioned, you've been in the game for a few years. I mean, you already trained with some amazing people at Start Jiu Jitsu. So, and obviously you've had some unbelievable training partners over the years as well. So, but anybody you want to shout out to, any friends, family members, teammates, Jiu Jitsu Gospel as well, give them a shout out because
Yeah.
they've been messaging me like crazy about you. So, so
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Jiu-Jitsu Gospel, kind of my new sponsor as well, giving me some no-gi gear and this T-shirt, but also mainly the club Stark Jiu-Jitsu. My game has kind of evolved to a different level since it feels like I threw away two, like 1.5 years when I trained at other places. But but mainly in terms of my no-gi game, Anders Svalsten, he's a guy that kind of took me under the wings when nobody wanted to do no-gi at our club. So it was me
yeah,
and him, and he completely developed my no-gi game. Yeah, Anders, thank you, and he's actually fighting as well on Saturday, so watch out for him.
definitely. It's a big shout out to Anders there. So guys, there we go. Then we're going to have Afif Khan start jiu-jitsu representing Sweden. So Sweden are definitely coming. So keep an eye out for Swedish jiu-jitsu or Swedish grappling. So Afif's going to be up against Seamas McCrudden. And it's going to be this Saturday coming. So Saturday, the 1st of October, Grapplefest 13. Now, anybody looking for tickets, head over to the Grapplefest Facebook page and you will get your tickets directly through there. As I mentioned as well, there is a pay-per-view on Fight TV. So there's a couple of different payment options. So UK price, oh sorry, the US price, should I say, is $14.99 for the standalone pay per view price. But there is a monthly option, which is probably the most cost efficient. And the monthly option is $4.99. So yeah, that's going to be this Saturday coming, Saturday, the 1st of October. Make sure you do get, especially in Sweden, make sure you get the pay per view because this is going to be an awesome event. We're going to have Afif and Anders as well representing Swedish Jiu Jitsu and Start Jiu Jitsu as well. So Afif, listen, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for obviously
Likewise.
taking the time to speak to me, buddy.
Thank you, man, and thank you for having me on the show.
Definitely. Listen, enjoy the rest of your training for the week. Have a safe flight over, and we'll see you next Saturday. All right.
Thank you, man. See you.
Take care, bro.
Bye.